You're sweating. Relax. Take a deep breath.
I haven't seen her in 10 years, Master.
Obi-Wan and Anakin start to walk out of the elevator. It was true, they haven't seen her since Qui-Gon's death. He could sense his Padawan's delight. He rolls his eyes, as it was obvious Anakin fancied her. Obi-Wan looks up and sees her. He understands his Padawan's excitement. She was certainly stunning, to say the least. It had certainly been a long day, thought Obi-Wan. They definitely were dealing with a matter more serious than people were speaking of. Anakin and him failed to get answers from the assassinator, as there was obviously someone else that she had worked for. Obi-Wan suddenly moves his head out of thought, as Yoda starts to speak.
Track down this bounty hunter, you must, Obi-Wan.
Most importantly, find out who he's working for.
What about Senator Amidala? She will still need protecting.
Handle that. Your Padawan will.
Obi-Wan Kenobi disagrees with this and shims in. With all due respect, Masters, I think it would be best for me to stay with my apprentice. Keeping the senator safe is the top priority, and she trusts me the most. Don't forget, she requested me to be assigned to her. Someone more skilled than me could track down the bounty hunter. Council members start talking amongst themselves and reach a decision. They agree to his request. Obi-Wan Kenobi bows down and looks over to see an irritated Anakin. Obi-Wan knew that he wanted his own mission, and this would have been his first one. When they left the room, Anakin looks over at Obi-Wan and starts complaining. Obi-Wan sighs and knew that they were going to bicker, as usual. Obi-Wan, Padme, and Anakin land on Naboo. The flight wasn't very pleasant, to say the least. Both his apprentice and the senator were very hard-headed. Padme had been complaining about being treated like a child, obviously not in those exact words, but Obi-Wan Kenobi could get the gist of it. And Anakin had been doing the exact same thing, but in private with him, of course. It had been a few days since they all came to Naboo. Obi-Wan hadn't realized, but seeing Padme every day made him realize that he actually liked her. He had been debating in his head what this meant and why he felt this way. He was sitting on the couch, stroking his beard. Suddenly sees Padme walk over and sit down. He analyzes her body and then suddenly sees her looking at him with a sharp stare. He quickly asks where Anakin is. She replies he went to go get us some food. Obi-Wan catches himself looking at her lips as she's talking. This is absurd, he thinks in his head. He sees Padme smiling as he turns around. Obi-Wan Kenobi receives a transmission from Mace Windu that was getting broadcasted to the Jedi Council as well. He tracked Jango Fett to Geonosis, but then he was suddenly attacked during the transmission. Obi-Wan Kenobi walks out of his room and shows Anakin and Padme the transmission. As he looked at Padme, he feels guilt running through his body. They both had confessed their feelings already earlier, and they also had agreed not to let it get in the way of their jobs. But they already had kissed afterwards, which basically showed everything they had discussed was for nothing. He wondered how all of this was going to play out. Shortly after Mace Windu's transmission, Yoda started one with them. Yoda looks directly at Obi-Wan and tells him not to leave Naboo and to keep Miss Amidala safe. Obi-Wan stays true to Yoda's command, and over time, staying on Naboo, him and Padme get closer than before. Behind Anakin's back, Obi-Wan even made out with her a few times. As Obi-Wan and Padme are making out, they receive another transmission from Yoda that a war had begun, and their mission in protecting Padme was over. Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan get back on their ship and leave for Coruscant. As the ship goes into hyperspace, Obi-Wan and Padme look at each other. Obi-Wan starts thinking in his head as he continues looking at her, who knows what fate may lie in for them.